Hey guys, this is Erik with ESFIworld.com, and I'm here with ThisIsJimmy and Shadow from Sise Gaming. So just to get this kicked off, for those guys, everybody out there doesn't really know who you guys are, can you just tell us a little about yourself, your real name, your StarCraft history, etc.?
I am Jimmy. This is Jimmy Van Sise. I'm from San Diego, California. I've been with Sise Gaming since last August, and I've been playing StarCraft forever. That's about it.
Hi, I'm Erik. Sise Shadow Kim. I live in Indiana. Go to Indiana University. I went to GSL qualifiers in Open Season 2. Lost to MC there, and then I had school starting January, so I came here. And I joined Sise at May. And before that, I was in a team called Revoki, but then they picked me up. So yeah, so that's about it. And I'm with Jimmy, so we're playing here.
All right, awesome. Before we get into the actual games of the tournament, can you tell us a little bit about the MLG experience, the fan interaction, the atmosphere, everything like that?
MLG is great. It seems to always get larger every time. Yeah, I like it. I mean, I like how the players are kind of mixed in with the fans. So you have people just grab you and tell you they like you, so that's always nice. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's great. And watching the matches live is fantastic because everyone flips out and goes crazy. So I really like it.
Yeah, this is my third MLG, and it's, as he said, it's getting bigger and bigger, so it's pretty exciting. More Koreans coming, which is good for me because I can meet more Koreans, but it's like, at the brackets, it's like, hey, when am I going to meet a Korean? It's like, I want to meet them later so I could go further, right? And yeah, one thing I don't like about it is I can't sit, so my leg hurts.
A lot of players have actually talked about, you just said something about fans can just kind of grab you. Is it ever kind of a problem, too, wherever you have a tough loss, then fans kind of want to talk to you right away, or is that you guys kind of okay with that?
No, I don't mind. And me and Shadow, we're just not cool enough for that to be an issue. So, I mean, yeah, it's no problem for us.
Oh, okay. Somebody asked me for an autograph, and they thought I was Rain. So, okay, I was like, are you Rain? I'm like, no. All right. He's like, all right. And they just walked away. And that's about it. I don't know what Jimmy's talking about.
Okay.
All right, so tell us a little about this tournament, Raleigh, and whether or not you really met your own personal expectations for kind of where you thought you'd end up in the tournament.
I would say no, I didn't meet my expectations. Only because last time I got 26th. I was really happy about that. And then this time, it just didn't go well. I had to play Puma round 4, so that made things difficult since he's Puma. But, yeah, it's kind of disappointing. But try again next time. Hope I get better luck in the bracket.
Yeah, same with me. Met Noble S in third round, so went down. And we both lost in losers round 6. Sat next to each other, and we both lost. Pretty, yeah, not fun.
All right, so speaking of the Koreans actually in the open bracket, can you just kind of, you mentioned it a little bit earlier, but to kind of get to the point more of how the level of competition in the open bracket is really just increased with every event, it seems like?
Yeah, so when people saw the bracket and said you're playing Noble S, it's like, hey, you're Korean too, why don't you play him? Like, what I said was, I'm Korean human, they're Korean machine, so there's a difference from that. There's a big wall. I mean, they practice like machines. They practice one strat like 50 games in a row. So it's like crazy. So unless you do it like that, I don't know if the gap's going to go down. So, but it's a good experience to actually play them. And I didn't really get nervous. That was a good thing. I guess that's an improvement.
Yeah, I don't know. The Koreans are just better than everyone. To sum it up, they're just better than us. And it's disappointing, but that's just the way it is. And, yeah. So, I mean, I come into these events, there's really not too much pressure because, you're not going to get top 8. It's just not going to happen. But,
No money.
you're not going to, yeah, you're not going to win. So, you just do your best and then try to avoid Koreans as long as possible. And then when you play them, try not to get embarrassed and maybe steal a game, maybe a series, but maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It's too hard.
All right. So, I mean, speaking of the open bracket still, just the amount of games you play in the open bracket can be absolutely huge, especially, last tournament you went into the championship brackets. Can you tell us a little bit how not only mentally kind of exhausting that can be, but also physically, with just constantly having to be on your feet and be ready to play just that many games?
Yeah, it's really tough if you go to losers early. So if you go to the losers bracket on day 2, which would be on today, Saturday, once you start playing, whenever that is, you don't stop. You play a series, then you maybe move, and then you play again, and then you play again, and then you play again, and you play all night until you either lose or you get to, like, I don't know, really far. You have to get into, like, championship, I don't know, maybe round of 24 or something crazy. So you could potentially play like over 10 best of 3s in a single day, which is, I mean, that's crazy. Even if you're just practicing ladder, that's a lot of games in like a regular day. But you're playing tournament games against like really good players every time, so it's pretty daunting.
Yeah, for me, actually, if I play, it doesn't really matter if I play a lot. If I keep winning and I feel good, I get the momentum. So actually, I go do better like next game. But last time in MLG Columbus, I lost in open bracket 5, round 5, and then I had to play in losers round 8, which is like 9 o'clock. And I was so tired that day. I just woke up and came back here, and then I just lost because I didn't even get to practice or anything. It's like, bam. And he's been playing like a few other rounds, so it depends on the situation. But I think this is more fun than like playing throughout like one match every day. It's like, so yeah.
All right, so last night they did State of the Game live on stage, and Sundance kind of talked a little bit about next year and about how they're going to kind of change the format up to make it easier to move in and out of pool play. There'll be more online events and kind of 4 main seasons. You guys have any thoughts on that? Because I know a lot of the open bracket competitors really have an issue with how difficult it really is to break into the pools.
Yeah, I don't know. There wasn't too many details announced, really. I felt like it was just like, oh, there's going to be 4 seasons and there's going to be a lot more matches and everything, but nothing really concrete was announced. I mean, they said the prize pool will increase, but you don't know how much. So I think just going to have to wait and see. But I think it was encouraging that they said they were going to change the format and make it not so difficult out of the open bracket. So that was encouraging, at least.
Yeah, I didn't watch the State of Game, so I'm not familiar with the too much details. But they're expanding the brackets. Are you saying like more matches?
No, they're going to actually have it more like online events.
Oh, okay.
And then they're going to make it. They didn't really specifically say how, but they're supposed to make it easier to move in and out of pool play.
Oh, sweet. So we do play Koreans on online, so we get the server advantage, maybe, possibly. I think that's a good part, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, all right.
I didn't think about that.
I think that's good. And actually, playing online, you could, if you're at home, you could play better actually, because you're in a more comfortable environment. So I think that's a good idea. Besides that, I guess it'll be more fun.
All right, moving on, just kind of outside of MLG now. Can you just talk a little about the dynamic you guys have at Check 6? Practice, training regimen, things like that.
Yeah, I could talk about that. Well, currently, our team members we don't play as a full time. We all have a job or are students, so we're pretty busy, and it's hard to actually make like practice with each other. It's hard to meet Jimmy actually. We're in a different time, so yeah. And one thing even though we don't get to play with teammates, I'm okay, because even though you play with them every day, then I think it's not a good practice, because you're playing with the same person, same thing, and then it becomes too much of each other. So what I do is I just play ladder and then ask for custom games with some teammates if I need it, and just practice for matches, because we do ESEA team leagues, and we're on like 15-0 record, so I think we're pretty good in team dynamics and doing pretty well.
Yeah, and to speak on practice, I mean, it's pretty hard. We can't set up like a concrete schedule, so we kind of just always stay in the channel and ask for custom games when we can. But our schedules are all different. It's always changing. So we just practice together when we can, and we do a lot of clan wars. So that's always fun. And we've been playing really well lately. So yeah, so we're pretty good.
You have an approximation for how many hours you usually put in a day, or?
Myself, I'll put in, I don't know, maybe on a normal day during the week, probably only, I don't know, 2 or 3 or 4. I can't figure it out. I don't know. I just got a full-time job recently, so I play less now, but I play more on the weekends when there's tournaments and just a million things going on, so that's always fun. And, yeah, I guess on a normal day around 3 hours.
For me, I'm on vacation from school, so if you're asking how long I sit in the computer, maybe 24/7. But yeah, StarCraft ladder is, once you play like 20 games, it's really hard to play more for me. So I'd say I play StarCraft like 6 to 7 hours, but maybe half of that is not too intense,
All right, so moving on to a little more, I guess, not so serious questions. You see a lot of traditional sports, a lot of players have kind of weird rituals or superstitions, things like that. Any of you guys have any kind of superstitions, or at least kind of you'll do the same thing before you play every game, anything like that?
I got something to say about this. It's not us, but it's our teammate called Check6 Ver, Bob. He meditates before games, and by his quote, he said that makes him play better, so I guess it does something well for him. And what I try to do is just keep my hands warm. Just don't, like, you think about what you're gonna do, and then try to avoid doing something else, so I don't actually have to think up too much before the game. Because when I think too much, I screw up the game plan. So that's all I do before games.
Yeah, I don't do too much before games. At MLG, I always make sure the volume is on maximum to try and drown out the outside noise, because everyone's talking and the announcers from stage will get distracting. Yeah, so you try to put it as loud as possible, and you hope that you can ignore everything else. So that's my thing. But yeah, Bob or Ver, he's the best one with the pregame rituals, and he'll also do push-ups in between matches. So yeah, you can see it on his opponents' faces. They always get annoyed, so it's pretty funny.
All right, what's the craziest thing a fan has done to either get your attention or ask you to sign, anything like that?
I don't know. Nothing too crazy. I don't think I'm that cool, but probably just grab me, like from behind.
Physically grabbed you?
Just like grab me completely, and then that's about it.
Well, yeah, I don't technically have a fan, but all right. Well, I met Greytorp today. Before even we shook hands, we met for the first time. He started touching my hair. He said it's funny.
Greytorp's your #1 fan?
Yeah, he's like, your hair's good. Hi, I'm Greytorp. All right, it's cool.
All right, before we really close this one out, what tournaments and events can we expect to see you guys in the near future?
For us, there's a tournament, TT Sports Run. It's called TEC. We participate in that, and some G-Force, I think, G-Force tournaments. It's like daily. You play one opponent each day, and it goes for like a month or two.
Pro-Am, is that the one? G-Force Pro-Am?
Pro-Am? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that,
Yeah,
but
that's it.
is it
Yeah.
the same one? Okay.
Yeah, it's that one.
Yeah, those and like a couple of like weekly stuff, and well, we play ESCA is the main team league we play, which we're pretty dominating right now. So that's about it for us. And
Are you both planning to attend the rest of the MLGs for the year? Or?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
All right, awesome.
Oh, I have one thing to say. Those tournaments that you play one match a day, super annoying. Everyone should stop doing that immediately. Just have like 2 days where you play the entire tournament out, because it's like you play one best of 3 at like 6 o'clock or whatever every single day, and it's just like always on your mind. You're like, okay, I have to be here at 6. Oh, now I have to be here at 6 again, and it's like for 2 weeks, and it's just super annoying.
Sleep until 10.
Yeah, see,
Can't sleep in.
ruining his schedule. ruining everyone's schedule. So every tournament should stop doing that. I think it'll be more interesting too, because even for spectators, how are you going to really pay attention to a tournament like that, where you play one best of 3 every day?
All right. Any last shout-outs, words for the fans, anything like that?
I want to say thanks to all my fans who have been watching. It's always great to hear their support on Twitter. My Twitter is _ThisIsJimmy_. Also, big shout-outs to Check6 Gaming, of course. Our sponsors, TTE Sports, Pure Track, EO Reality, and Gamers Uniform. So it's great that we have them, and they send us to these events. Couldn't do without them. So thanks, everyone.
Yeah, as Jimmy says, thanks to our Check6 sponsors and our team managers, my friend Cole. And, yeah, and hopefully I get some fans like Jimmy.
Do you have a Twitter or anything like that?
I should make one. I don't have
social
one
media.
yet. Yeah. I'm not too into it yet, but I'm thinking of it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.